Okay, so currently this is one of the first caves you can go into and beat, right? This is going to be where you get the grappling hook, let you get to the, get inside the second cave, and then when you get in the second cave, it's going to get you what you need to get into the third cave that's like this. Now, these caves will have boards on them, alright? The caves that are boarded up are going to have creatures inside them that you haven't fought yet. Now, understand you're very prepared for this. These creatures are really powerful, these are mutants or whatever. Either you have to know how to be really good at fighting them or have a lot of equipment to recover from fighting them. Alright, once you break the boards off the cave, you've started something. So make sure you're ready. Alright? Once you've done that, you're going to end up in a, not a good position if you're not ready. Basically, mutants are going to start spawning outside the cave and attacking your base. So if you think you're struggling with the cannibals, you're going to have a big problem once these guys start coming at your base. So that thing's back, right? Blocking your way into there. Every time you come back in here, it's always going to be back. So they always give you 2 of these. Now you can only carry 3 of those in your inventory anytime, so you want one to put on the shelves. Now you can leave, come back in, save, or you can put a tarp down here and save, reload, and get 2 more of those bombs. And of course you can blow your way through him if you want and kill a couple things behind him. Go, so you're in a cave, you're out of energy, don't want to go back out, you can just throw your tarp down in the cave. Alright, and then just empty your hands. If you have an axe in your hand when you try this, it'll mess up. Then you can just pop 1 stick down. Now we have a save point, and we can rest. They are partway through the cave, and I have to find anything too dangerous to get to them. So these is what you're really looking for. They're pretty easy to take out. There's a couple of them in here. You see one standing right there. Once you get them down, they don't stay very long, so you need to harvest them. When you harvest them, you get the skin armor. Alright, you can carry 10 pieces of skin armor on you. You can technically carry 20 if you equip 10. And so if you don't know, there's stealth in the game, kind of. See the eyeball when you're crouched there on the right or above the minibar? Oh, I hear them screaming. Like they can't see me when it's like that. They can walk right by me and not see me, but as soon as I step up, so when you're in a bush, you're basically invisible. And then when I step out of the bush, I become extremely visible. And basically, if they turn and look at me, they'll probably see me. Kelvin, they will see you. Don't give me. Kelvin gives you away when you're stealthing, so stealth's not great in the game. Anyway. Alright, so when you save and load, so you can save, go to the menu, load back in, and these kind of resources, these kind of things will be back, right? So you probably already know about that. What you may not know about is, if you have, say, chopped down a tree and you've been piling up logs, but you don't have them in a container like that, and you log off, and you save, unload, reload, they're all gone. Any bodies you threw in a campfire to get bones from, gone. Yeah. So while everything does reset, so does all the stuff you've been farming and laying around. So that is unfortunate. So if you're going to be storing stuff, and building up stuff for a project, you're definitely going to want to make you know, storage devices for them so they don't go away. All right, well, let's get to it before we get attacked. Okay, so some tricks with building. We got our logs here. We got our walls built. You know, you're building all this stuff. You're following the instructions. That's a shelf, so that's a little weird. So anyway, you're following all the instructions, right? If we open the book, okay, you notice it shows floor, ceilings, kind of the same thing. It shows you have to cut the boards in pieces and then put them together. Let's see, what's the next one? And, you know, wall, same thing. You pile the logs up on the wall. And on and on. So anyway, you can look at this book and it tells you how to cut the stuff out and do all that. Make the ceilings. Steps. Okay, so we're actually going to show you something a little quicker than just trying to sit out here and aim your... So maybe tempted to, you know, it tells you need half to cut them in half by sitting out here with your axe like this and cutting them. Well, that's a slow way of doing it. And, oh. Lights on, I guess. Okay. Now back where we were. So, once you start kind of getting your house set up, I'll just kind of show you on the roof here. And you want to get these roof pieces put together. Look, you see those arrows? Yeah, I can just pull the right trigger. Boom. You just cut it and throw it up there. Alright, so much faster. He just automatically does it. Okay, here we go. This is a good example. If we end up, having one spot where we couldn't fill, we don't have to, we can still just look at the middle here, and we'll be able to just do that. So it'll fix that. So no problem there. Super easy. Okay, now when we're talking about base building, I don't recommend starting out base building. I recommend starting out this game as a nomad. Okay, now the reason I recommend starting out as a nomad, which basically means you just live out of your tarp, right? And you're running around gathering supplies and just kind of playing the game. Okay, once you start building, you're in this situation where the game constantly sends waves and waves of enemies at you while you're trying to figure out how to build. If you really want to build and you don't know how and you want to practice and stuff and do things in the beginning, I would recommend that once you're to the point where you want to build and not be bothered while you're experimenting, switch to peaceful mode. Alright, another building trick here is you can see stuff starting to get damaged. So we can go in here. We made this repair tool. It'll tell you how to do it. It's a stone, rope, and stick. Anyway, and you just come hit your building with it. And look at that. It just starts repairing everything. Okay, so let's go repair this wall. Repair a doorway. Doorways, once you get them built and put up, they open and close for everybody, including your enemies. So they're pointless. Might as well leave them off like this. Alright, but yeah, after they've been here, your cannibals have been here hitting your base, you're going to want to go around and kind of hit it with this repair tool. Get everything back up. One thing you don't want to do is when cannibals are in your house is come in swinging your axe. Because the game thinks when you swing your axe, you're trying to do something to your building and that you're not trying to fight the enemy, right? So it just immediately destroys your structures. You start swinging your axe in here. Okay, so I want to show you something cool with shelves, alright? So once you do decide to build a base, this is top of nomad life because you're getting lots of materials. You want somewhere to store your stuff and be protected. Okay, so you just come up and it's pretty simple. You go into it pulls up your inventory. You have stuff you can put on it. Like all these storable foods can go on it. And then you can LB or RB and you cycle through your backpack pages, right? So we can store some skin pouches or some skulls here if we wanted. Whatever we think we're getting too much of. We don't want to, and we just leave some here for backup. So if you store the stuff on the shelves, they stay from between saving and loading, right? But if you just throw the stuff on the ground, thinking you'll come back and pick it up off the ground later, it will go away if you save it. If you end up having to save or load, or sorry, not save. If you end up having to load, it'll go away. So, and as you can see, we can store armor pieces. It's like if I had, 10 bone armor on me, I'm wearing it, 10 in my inventory, I want to make 10 more to put on the shelf, back up for later. So you kind of want to get stocked up on stuff for in between waves. Now, one thing is the enemies will come inside your house and raid your shelves and take it. Whoa! Speaking of which, I guess we're under attack. Okay, and we saw Kelvin building this stuff earlier, right? We put him to work. So he built us a planter and a birdhouse. So we're going to show you a planter. Pulls up your little seed inventory. So you may want to grow some of them. Apparently each planter can only grow one seed. So you'll need to make multiple planters. There's hanging ones and then there's standing ones.